All right. I know some of you are still grabbing food. You're fine. Some of you are still getting situated. That's fine. I just know we only have about 30 minutes with Dr. Mock and how's school going, which you guys are going to love this. I'm so excited to at least do a quick introduction with you. So some of you are here long enough, you remember Panorama, which was one-stop shop where you could get all the data. It was used some, it was nice, but it only had certain features. Only some of you probably used it. This has some of those same components, but the best part about it, it is for not only you guys and putting together information for students, but it's also for parents and kids. And so I'm going to let them tell you all about this, but it is something that our district invested in. It's one of our board goals to improve our communication. And I feel like good conversations happen when we have the data at our fingertips and we don't have to spend hours trying to look up FastBridge data, state assessment data, grades from all these different websites, logins, and accounts. So it's all going to be at one place. Also, those of you that are educators as well as parents, you're going to be able to dig into this even a little sooner. We won't roll this out to parents until probably October because we want to give you guys time to get familiar with it. In just a second, we'll get started. So there's some handouts going around.
Question.
Yes.
Well, since they're not going to roll it out to parents till like October, will students?
Yes. Good question. Your students will be able to access this now through Clever. So you'll be able to have, in fact, we want the students to get in and look at their page and their FastBridge data before they take their screening FastBridge. Because again, we want them to give best effort. And if you know how you've been doing, that gives you more desire to give best effort so you can see how you improve. And soon after they take the assessment, within a month later, they'll actually have that in this profile of theirs so they can see it, and it'll be ready for conferences. We just want you and the students to have time to play around with it before we launch it out to parents. So good question. Without taking any more time, again, great to have you here. You've got some other people, Jason, who's one of the co-owners, Justin, one of the co-owners of this great creation on there, as well as I think Tracy's on there as well. So I'm gonna turn it over to them.
Yes, perfect. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kim Mock. I'm the director at Wilderness Plains. We've partnered with the company is called Data Insight Partners. The program is called How's School Going? I'm here on site to help facilitate. He's going to lead you through the session. Please, if you don't have a handout, let me know and I'll bring some back there. But Justin, thank you so much, Janet, for letting us be here today. I'm going to turn it over to Justin because I know we have a limited amount of time, but I know you're going to be very excited about the opportunities and as a parent, really being able to dig in and see all the information about your child. So thanks for having us here. Justin, go ahead.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. It is great to be here. I'm excited to share a little bit about how school going, how it works, and how it'll help you in your classroom, and how it will also support students and parents. What I'm going to ask us to do is we're going to take our time and kind of split it into a few pieces. I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to give you a chance to actually get into the site. That's what the handouts are for. And then I'm going to come back to the very end and answer just a couple common questions. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to talk just for like 10 minutes. While I'm doing that, you've got the URL, so you could go to the website. I'm going to ask you to hang with me just for a couple minutes. That way you can see everything that I'm sharing. My experience has been, once you get into the site, you're going to find some interesting things. You're going to go off in 100 different directions, which is what we want. But I want to give you just a little bit of orientation of what you're going to see and find there. So functionally, it was already mentioned, it's kind of one-stop shopping is what How's School Going is, where we're taking information from all your different data sources and putting it together in one spot, whether it's attendance, grades, and gradebook from your Power School, or it's your CAP and your CALPA from the state, or it's the FastBridge assessments. It's all together in one spot. We think more importantly than that, we're not just putting it together in one spot, we're putting it in a way that makes it really easy for anyone to engage with it. So this is not a website just for data people. This is a website for all the people so that everyone can look at it and understand what these things mean. It really ties to our theory of change. And our idea is, our goal is, we want to help you improve student outcomes. That's our goal at the end of the day. The way we believe we do that is by helping you change conversations. Because we believe that if you can use this information and people can understand it, even people who aren't data people, everyone can understand it. You can use that to change conversations. If you can do that, that's what changes mindsets. Changing mindsets is what can change actions. And ultimately, somebody taking a different action is what changes outcomes. And as we go through and I do the quick demo, I think you're going to see how you can use these pieces in conversations with parents, students, and even colleagues. So with that, I'm going to stop doing the slides. I'm going to kind of walk you through how to get into the site and kind of what you're going to see. This is what the login page is going to look like. You're going to click sign in with Google. It was already mentioned. Students can click sign in with Clever. Really, they're just going to go to their Clever dashboard and just directly log in there. I'll talk how parents get in a little bit later. But when you get there in a minute, you're going to click sign in with Google. When you do, you're going to see something that looks like this. So this is your teacher overview page. Some of you may have a landing page that looks like this. You're going to have very similar access, but most of you will have a page that looks like this. It's going to have a few big sections. It'll have a highlight section. This is where we're going to let you know about any birthdays and kids who earn badges. So I could see Miss Carell has got a couple birthdays this week. Oh, look, Dakota's actually got a birthday today. So Dakota turns 8 today. So you've got some highlights. You've got your teacher dashboards. This is where you're going to go when you want to look at your whole class. So you want to see your whole class's attendance, or your whole class's grades, your whole class's FastBridge. Under community is where you're going to be able to see your newsletters and the whole school birthdays and school calendar and announcements, things like that. Daily events, this will show you any events for the day. And then under my students, this is where you're going to be able to access all of your individual student reports. That's where I'm going to have you focus today, because in practice, that's where you end up using the site most often. So I'm going to look up one of your, I'm going to put the cursor there. I'm going to type in part of a student's name. So I think you say Adeline is one of your students. She attends Garfield Elementary School. So this is one of your students. So the student profile page has a little bit about everything in one spot. So when you look up a student, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see at the top, we start with the kid's picture. And if you see this empty area here in the top left in this About Me section, this is where students can log in and fill out their profile questions. So this is the idea of getting to know students a little bit better. If you think about it, it's all about conversations. These are conversation starters, right? Getting to know students, especially this time of school year, is a great back to school activity where you can have students fill these out and learn a little bit more about them. So you have questions like favorite subject, favorite book, favorite college. Then you have something they're proud of accomplishing, something they're thankful for, what they're inspired by, what they want to grow up, what they want to be, social contract word they're working on, the learning disposition they're practicing, what the reading and math skills they're working on, growth goals. So you're just going to get to know a lot about them as a person, what motivates them, and then also some academic things. I always joke that the first time my daughter filled out these questions for this, what I want to grow up, she said that she wanted to be a mermaid. She filled it out when she was in first grade, and I've known her entire life, and she never mentioned that mermaid career. So if I've learned things about my kid, I promise you, you're going to learn things about the students in your future. So I don't know if they mentioned, I actually live in Las Vegas, so you can actually be a mermaid. That's a career choice out here. So it's a good thing she lives here, right? Back on the main student profile page here, this is where additional pieces you can see are the attendance will flow in here once you guys start taking attendance for the year. There's this link for badges. I'll show you quickly what that is. Badges are things that students can earn automatically. So it's kind of like, you know, in Scouts, you can get badges. In the military, you can get awards. In video games, you can get achievements. It's kind of the same idea applied to academics, where students can get badges for things like perfect attendance for the month or the term, or for getting straight A's or straight A's and B's, or doing really well on FastBridge. They can get these badges just to celebrate the great things going on. So it gives you a really quick and easy way to just give kids a pat on the back, really, and just say, hey, great job. I can see their most recent reading and math scores right there. And then as we get down to the academic vital signs, this is where we start seeing all of that data that we're taking and bringing it in. So this is under reading and math scores. This is where we're showing the 4 most recent reading and math scores, whether it's CAP scores or it's FastBridge scores. And some things that we're doing in particular, again, to make this really easy for everyone to engage with. One, you're not going to see us put a scale score here, because if you tell somebody, hey, your child earned a 2200 on the FastBridge, what's the next thing you got to do? You got to explain what the heck 2200 means, right? So we skip that. We just use really easy to understand language, like you're on grade level, you're above grade level, you're below, you're well below grade level. Under achievement percentile, growth percentile, these are really useful metrics that tell us things that parents want to know, kids want to know, you want to know. How did this kid do compared to all the other kids who took the test? And are they learning fast enough, right? That's what achievement growth percentile are telling us. But people don't work with percentiles every day, right? Especially parents. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain that in plain language. So you can see this 97 here is actually right here. We use kind of a sentence frame of sorts where we say Adeline's recent achievement percentile of 97 on the spring FastBridge reading test means Adeline outperformed 97% of all testing, which is fantastic. And then this 35, we explain that right here, where Adeline's recent growth percentile of 35 means she outperformed 35% of test takers with the same scoring history, right? So it gives us those 3 key metrics. How am I doing compared to the standards? How am I doing compared to everyone else who took the test? And how am I doing compared to other kids who started in the same spot? Am I growing fast enough? Another thing that we're doing is we're color coding everything, right? It's kind of a universal language. Green and blue mean good, yellow, orange, and red are increasing levels of caution. So it just makes it really easy for anyone to scan this and see like, oh, there's some red. Oh, what do the words say? Oh, there's the explainer. Just makes it really easy for everybody to engage with that. And then down below, we'll have all of the grades. Right now, she doesn't have any grades because you guys haven't started grading assignments yet. But as you do, they'll start flowing in here automatically. And then down at the bottom, if she had any missing assignments or recently graded assignments, there'd be some flags that would be up there. So this is the student profile. It's a little bit about everything in one spot. Really great anytime you're meeting with a parent. So think like parent-teacher conferences, or you're calling in a parent. It can also be really good when you are in an advisory type conversation with a student and bringing it up and just talking to them about their performance and their history. Also can be really good at meetings with colleagues, things like SIT meetings, or you're just working with a colleague and want to see how students are doing. Just great for you, so you can get to know your students. Some other things you can do if you have, if you want to put this piece of paper in front, or put this on paper in front of a parent, I can click print in the top right corner there. It'll get rid of all the website stuff and just make it a really nice one sheet of paper front and back with all that information. And if you have any families whose first language isn't English and it's Spanish, I can click this translate button and get it translated into Spanish, and it'll translate it all for me automatically. I want to show you one more thing before I turn over for you to look at the site. This is the main student profile page. It's the overview, but every one of these areas, there's a detail page you can drill into, whether it's attendance or it's grades or it's badges or it's FastBridge or it's CAP. They all have detail pages that you can drill into. You can click on anything here and it will drill in there. You can see how they're all got little lines, underlines indicating that they're links. I can also use this navigation bar here on the left. I'm going to do that and just go to the attendance. There are 2 things I want you to be on the lookout for on every single detail page, because once you know how we do those 2 things, you're going to understand how all of those detail pages work. First, we always start with highlights. So up here at the top, I've got our guy Cooper with the megaphone and the highlights. And just like a newspaper has a headline at the top and the details down below, we do the same thing on all these detail pages, where you've got a headline and then the details. You don't have to read everything to figure out what's going on. You just read the headline. In this case, Adeline attends class on time 99% of the time, more than the average student. So that's the headline. The second thing we do is context. So in this case, it's based on research where they interviewed hundreds of parents of chronically absent students and found that they had 2 really big blind spots, and neither will be a surprise to you. They asked parents of chronically absent students, hey, how many times do you think your child missed school? And they found parents just kind of made up a number like, I don't know, they probably missed a couple days this year. And you're like, no, you missed 12 days this year, right? So they just started keeping track of that. And then if you ask parents of chronically absent students, hey, do you think your child attends school more, the same, or less than other kids? They will say, well, probably about the same. It's like, no, not everybody misses 20 days of school. What are you talking about? Right. And for me, it was a realization. So I'm a former fourth grade teacher, right? Like, I knew what normal was. Like, and I knew how many times kids miss school because I was the one keeping track of it. Parents aren't doing that though. They don't have an attendance chart on their fridge at home, and their reality is normal. So what we're trying to do is bust through both of those kind of blind spots by using this chart here, right? So we're going to say, hey, here's Adeline. She's in the blue, and then here's your grade level average and your school average. We calculate those every single day during the school year. So this is last year's attendance is what you're looking at for her. And what that does is allows you to have the conversation, say, you're going to have students whose attendance is down here in the red. So you can say, hey, your kid's attendance is here in the red. That's not normal. What's normal is clear up here in the yellow and green. That's how often every other kid is coming to school. So how can we get your child to come to school just as much as everybody else? And just put this in front of those parents. Get this sheet of paper in front of parents, bring them in, send it to them, send it home, have a call with them. And I promise you, you're going to change conversations with them. It will not change the conversation with every parent. It will change the conversation with a lot, and get them to look at it differently. You'll get lots of, I had no ideas. You're like, hey, don't know how you didn't know that, but I'm glad you do now. As you keep scrolling down the page, you'll see these calendar heat maps in a few spots. These are arranged, or these are color-coded squares, one for each day in the school year. Each column's a week, each row is a day in the week. Allows you to see patterns in attendance. So if you had a kid missing a lot of Mondays, you're going to have a row of red across the top, and you can use that with the parent and be like, hey, look at this. Looks like you're missing a lot of Mondays. What's going on? We go to school 5 days a week here. You're going to have a good conversation with them. So I'm going to stop there because I want to get you in there so you can actually start using the site. So log in. If you have any issues logging in, raise a big old hand, and Kim or Janet will let me know. We'll make sure that we get you in. But get in there, look up one student. This is really what the exploration checklist is having you do. Look up one kid, and then look at the student profile page, see everything that's there, and then start looking at those detail pages. And additionally, you might not have time to do all this now, but sometime before the school year starts, under community, click answer staff profile questions. You have staff profile questions you can answer. Kids love to read these, and parents love to read these. And one of them is your favorite drink and snack. And I promise you, if you fill out the drink and snack question, you will start getting that drink or snack throughout the year. So look up a kid, look at the detail pages, fill out your staff profile questions, go.
You may or may not be able to log in because we don't have internet.
Oh,
Okay, so some of you can get on, some of you cannot get on. It depends on your computer and it depends on what you're doing. So if you can't get on, there, somebody else's, but the wireless may or may not work. It may work for a minute, and it may
you can also try your mobile device. It works really well on phones, so you can give that a try too if you want to. Hi, Kim.
Myra Stefan is having difficulty logging in.
Okey-doke. There's an app for iPhone in the App Store. If you go to the site on Android, it'll prompt you to install it. So there's an app for Android, but you just have to go to the site and then click the install button. It's not in the Play Store yet. It will be, we think, kind of late September, early October. Okay, we're waiting on Google on a few things. So
Thank you.
We're gonna close out because I know you've got more opportunities on the way. Jeremy, you should be good. Lisa should be good. Ashley, Jennifer, I know he's working on yours. So we should be good, but we've got a few just final reminders. That way we can wrap this up so you can get to your next space. So Justin, we're ready for you.
perfect. Yeah, and Jennifer, you are all set. So you all should have had a chance to get in there and look at least at one student and start diving into the details. I hope as you did that, you started to see how you can start using that in conversations with students and parents and colleagues. a few pieces I want to layer on just to make sure that you know. One, everything you see in the site updates every single night. So every single night we pull fresh FastBridge data and we pull all the data out of PowerSchool. And as we add, there's a few more systems that we'll be adding into your site. Everything updates every single night. So if a student takes FastBridge today, it shows up tomorrow. If you mark something missing today, it'll show up tomorrow. So everything gets updated every single night. Parents, the way that they log in, we automatically create accounts for parents based on information in PowerSchool. So nobody has to create a new account here. There are no like usernames and passwords. We just tie everything back to the information in PowerSchool. So on the login page, you noticed a few additional pieces beyond that sign in with Google button that you used. Parents can use the sign in with Google, Microsoft, or Yahoo buttons if they have one of their emails. So if in PowerSchool, they're listed as having data access for their child and their email listed for that data access contact is Yahoo, then they'd click sign in with Yahoo and they're in, right? Same if they had like a Hotmail or an Outlook, they'd use sign in with Microsoft, or if they had a Gmail account, they'd use sign in with Google. Everyone can use this last option, passwordless login for parents. So even if they don't have like Google, Microsoft, or Yahoo, they can use this passwordless login for parents. The way that works is they type in their email address there, they can click remember me so they only do this once, and click send sign in link out. I had that page sitting around too long, sorry. This is what they'd actually see. They type it in, click send sign in link, and it says, hey, we sent you an email. Go check your email. And then they'll get an email. I just got this just a mere moment ago. It says, hey, your email's been confirmed. Click sign in to How's School Going. They click that. They get logged in. And then they see their kids. So this is what a parent sees. They see a page that says my kids. It'll have all their kids. These are my kids. I literally just logged into How's School Going with that passwordless login. It's that easy. Type in your email, click send sign in link, click a button in your email, you're in. So there are no passwords for How's School Going. Everybody just uses either one of the sign in with Google, Yahoo, or Microsoft buttons, or you use this passwordless login or Clever. So makes it really pretty easy for parents to access the site. One of the main ways that parents are going to interact with the site are with your school newsletters. So I'm going to go here. This is what your school newsletter will look like once you start sending those out. I suspect you'll start sending those out a little bit like a couple months into the school year, so that because you're kind of waiting to tell parents about it. So it's going to be like a regular school newsletter where you're going to be able to have information at the top. You'll have events in there. You'll be able to add flyers. The coolest part about it, though, and the thing that's really unique to us that nobody else in the country is doing, is every newsletter is personalized. You have this My Kids section. So every parent will get a newsletter that will be personalized to them, that'll have their kids at your school, all of them, and it'll have all of the highlights. So it's going to tell them when they've earned a badge, or they've missed some school, or if they've got new FastBridge results, or if you've marked an assignment missing, or if they have upcoming assignments. It's all going to be there in the newsletter. It's going to be personalized, itemized, makes it really easy for parents to engage, and knowing new information there really supports parents in kind of owning their kids' learning and being involved in that. My kids' school sends this every Wednesday. It is my favorite part of the week where I get the newsletter, I scroll down to the My Kids section and see what's been going on with my kids, where they've got missing assignments and I need to have a tough conversation, or I see their grades and I can celebrate great things going on. Or if they've got they do iReady at my kids' school. I can see how they did an iReady. I really look forward to it as a parent. So I suspect your parents will as well. So it's one of the main ways that parents will interact and use the site. This goes to their email. It'll also get, if they have a mobile number in PowerSchool, it'll get text messages to them as well. And if they have the app installed, then it'll come up as a little notification. So last thing that I would leave you with, on the back of that sheet of paper that we gave you is my email address, justin@datainsightpartners.com. It's there for a reason. If you have a question, reach out to me. I work for you, so make me do my job. If you've got a question, can't get in, or have an idea where we can improve the site, or your parents have a question, let us know. We're here to support you. If you happen to lose that piece of paper, in the top right corner of the site, you can hit this question mark icon, and then there's a little spot there for questions and feedback. You can always use that as well. If you fill that out, that'll tell us what page you're looking at, tells us who you are. So it's a really slick way to get a hold of us and let us know if you have any questions. There's some common questions that are answered there as well. So the site's live, it's ready. You can start using it however you want to start using it whenever you're ready. So I would encourage you, think of how and when you're going to have kids fill out those profile questions. This learner launchpad is what they see when they log in. This will have highlights for them. Find a time for kids to log in and start using that page as well. And then if you haven't already, answer your staff profiles questions under community. I promise you, kids and parents will look at that. It's one of the most used pages is that staff directory and looking at those profile questions. So fill it out. Kids and parents want to know about you. But other than that, stay in touch, use that email or use the question mark if you have any questions, and have a great start to the school year. Thanks, everyone.
Justin, one correction. Mr. Jeremy Bowman needs to be at Lincoln. Yes, thank you.